Gildan Media, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Manager's Answer Book, Powerful Tools to Build Trust and Teams, Maximize Your Impact and Influence, and Respond to Challenges, by Barbara Mitchell and Cornelia Gamlin. Narrated by Marguerite Gavin. Introduction. How to use this book. Congratulations, you're a manager. You may be a new manager and you're encountering issues for the first time. You may be an experienced manager, but this situation has never come up before. You may be new to the company, organization, or industry, and things are done differently. Of course, you have expertise in the field you're managing, but what about everything else? There's so much more to know. Whether you're a new or seasoned manager, your responsibilities can be overwhelming at times. There are days and new situations that leave you feeling vulnerable. You don't know where to start or even what to ask. Do you fly by the seat of your pants, take an educated guess, or just throw up your hands and give up? No manager should feel that isolated or vulnerable. That's where the Manager's Answer Book can help. In question and answer format, this easy-to-use guide provides information on many aspects of managing. You'll find guidance on the following. You're a new manager. Now what? Getting started as a manager, either first-time manager or a manager in a new organization, can be daunting. This section covers issues such as following in the footsteps of a great or not-so-great predecessor, moving from peer to manager, developing relationships, metrics, and budgets, managing projects and resources, and much more. Developing your management skills. Beyond the knowledge and expertise in your field, being a manager requires skill. You may already possess good communication skills, including storytelling, or be a master at time management. However, to be effective as a manager, you need to delegate, motivate, coach, and counsel. Mediate, negotiate, and facilitate, all topics included in the section, and then some. Building and managing your team. People management is an important part of your job. From hiring to firing and everything in between, such as onboarding employees, setting goals and expectations, providing feedback, rewards, recognition, and retention, this section covers these and other issues you need to know about being an effective leader of people. Creating your personal brand. Image and credibility are important for you and your team, and this extends beyond your physical looks and appearance. This section covers many best management practices, building trust, setting examples through words and actions, ethics and integrity, vulnerability, and emotional intelligence. It includes tips on these and other topics to help you understand why your brand is important. Managing up, down, and around. Managing doesn't stop with your own team. You have to understand how the rest of the organization functions to be effective, and this section provides many of those insights, as well as guidance on managing people and situations outside your scope of authority. Avoiding potential landmines. It could be easy to get caught in situations that could backfire or explode. Conflict and change and risk, oh my. Then there's managing remote workers, telecommuters, and generations, as well as understanding external requirements, to name a few more. Recognizing legal pitfalls. Just when you thought everything was covered, there's the myriad of laws and regulations. You can find insights on situations that you could likely face. The information provided in the Manager's Answer Book is at times general in nature. Policies, processes, and protocols will vary from organization to organization and from industry to industry. Academia and nonprofits may have different procedures and protocols than organizations in industries such as manufacturing, healthcare, or government contracting. The size of the organization also affects how things get done and the resources available. We will often suggest that you consult with your legal or human resources support recognizing that support may be an internal department or an external resource. It's important that you take the time to learn how things are accomplished in your organization. The Manager's Answer Book can help any manager stay informed and avoid unknowingly tripping over a new situation. It provides insights into many situations and issues that managers face outside their own area of expertise. It's a natural complement to the Big Book of HR. Chapter 1. You're a new manager. Now what? Congratulations. This is an exciting time in your career. But you probably have a lot of questions and not a lot of answers as you take on new responsibilities. Here's a tip as you get started. You've hopefully had a couple of good managers in your career, so think about what they did that worked for you and use that insight to guide you along with the answers in this section. Question. My predecessor was a manager who was held in high esteem by everyone, her staff, her peers, and the leadership. I certainly don't want to alienate the employees, but I'm not her and will likely have a different style. Any advice for starting on a positive note with my staff? Answer. If your predecessor was highly regarded, there are probably many reasons for it. I would guess that a competent staff is one of the top reasons. Successful managers hire good staff, people who are good at what they do. As you start in your new job, you will want to make getting to know your staff a top priority. Learn what it is that they do and what expertise each one of them possesses. Trust them with what they are doing. In many cases, they have probably been doing it for a long time, either within your organization or elsewhere. Your team members also possess a great deal of institutional knowledge. If they've been with the organization for a while, that knowledge can be even greater than the knowledge of the person who hired you. Yes, you may be able to tap into your peer network for this, but they will not necessarily know how to apply that knowledge to your department or team's work. Your staff will, and you will need to leverage the knowledge they bring. Don't micromanage the staff. Yes, you may be trying to get a better understanding of what they do and contribute. However, if you're initially asking for a great deal of information or status reports, explain to them it's because you're trying to learn, to gain a greater understanding of what they do, and that it won't continue indefinitely. Focus on their results. Don't reallocate work and responsibilities arbitrarily. At some point, as you get to know what each staff member's workload is, it may be necessary to do so. However, get input from all those affected. Also, don't arbitrarily change procedures and processes. Get suggestions from the staff. After all, they are the ones performing the work. Keep in mind that what may have worked in your former organization may not work in the new organization. In fact, they may have tried something you are proposing in the past, and it failed to work. Listen to them. Making arbitrary changes can have the effect of demoralizing and demotivating the staff. Recognize and respect the professional relationships your staff members have made both inside and outside the organization. They have worked hard at building relationships with peers, the leadership, clients, customers, and service providers. They have built credible reputations in their professional networks and often within the community. Honor that, and don't try to capitalize on it for your personal gain. Once they have gotten a chance to know you and trust you better, they will probably be more than happy to introduce you to their network. Most importantly, give your staff time to adjust to their new leadership. They've experienced a loss and are going through a grieving process. Listen to them and give them time to adjust, along with your respect and trust. Question. I just accepted a job with a new organization. I'm replacing a manager who is retiring, and he had a number of shortcomings that I've heard were not addressed. Apparently he had an anything-goes attitude and gave his staff a great deal of freedom. Needless to say, they held him in high regard. The leadership has told me they want to bring more accountability to the department. Could you give me some pointers about how to approach the staff? Answer. Wow, this is a challenge. It sounds like the staff was taking advantage of your predecessor's lack of control and might expect that you will maintain the same status quo. That's not to say you should tread lightly, just slowly and deliberately. Obviously, you want to build rapport with each staff member. Find out from each of them how they perceive their job, their duties, and responsibilities. Compare this to any job descriptions and your leadership's understanding of their jobs. This will help you identify any gaps that you need to address. Be clear with your staff about your expectations of them and of the department. Let them know this as soon as possible and reinforce your expectations often in discussions with them and in staff meetings. Despite what they may think, employees really do want to know what's expected of them. Don't just tell them what you expect, tell them why you expect it. Provide facts. For example, we serve the public, so it's important to be punctual and arrive at work on time. Acknowledge to the team that things will change and be different as you all adjust. Solicit their input, especially if you plan to change procedures or protocols. Let them know you will take all of their ideas and opinions under consideration, but ultimately you, in consultation with the leadership, will make any final decisions. This approach will help manage their expectations. Remind them that all of you are a team and ultimately work for the same organization. Often, individuals in these circumstances perceive that they work for one particular person. In this case, they may think they worked more for your predecessor and less for the organization. Be clear that you all support the organization and its stakeholders, such as clients and customers. Stress that as a manager you have a responsibility to make sure that the stakeholders are being served. Your accountability and theirs goes beyond the chain of command. Put action behind your words. Show them that you are part of the team and that you value the work that each staff member does. Be willing to roll up your sleeves and help with routine tasks if the situation requires it. Offer to help as a way of better understanding what it is they do. It will help gain their confidence and trust. Finally, communicate any changes that need to be made. Explain why the changes are necessary. Give the staff warning before you implement them, but do so in a timely manner. This will increase your credibility with them. Remember that this is an adjustment period and that it's a process. Give your staff the time to adjust while holding them accountable. Question. My new job means I'm managing former peers and friends. In addition to assigning work and monitoring progress on projects, I will be evaluating their performance. Are there some ways to let them know that things have changed and that we must work together differently? Answer. You've got some hard work ahead of you. It isn't easy to change hats and manage people you consider to be your friends, but it's certainly possible to successfully move from peer to boss. And it starts as soon as the announcement is made that you're now in charge. Hopefully your organization has selected you for this role because you've exhibited the qualities a good manager needs to have, including the ability to motivate others, good delegation skills, and excellent communication skills. If you need to refresh your skills, there are lots of books, podcasts, YouTube videos, and blogs available to help you hit the ground running. Your first meeting with your team is critical, but you may want to wait a day or two for the news to settle before you jump in with both feet. Let people adjust to the fact that you are now their manager before you let your team know what is expected of them. They need to hear that you will support them in any way possible and will get out of their way so they can do the jobs they were hired for. What makes your situation somewhat uneasy is that you have some personal relationships with certain people and they know you in a way, perhaps that most people don't know their bosses. Meet one-on-one with each person who reports to you and clarify your expectations. Let them know your goals for the department and how you see them contributing to its success. Clearly spell out that you value each person and their contributions to the organization while reminding them that you now have a different role to play. In these conversations, be professional and open to hearing your team members' ideas. Acknowledge that you will be holding them accountable for their work and that you will support them in any way possible. Ask them to express any concerns they have and respond to those concerns. Make a commitment to each person that you will be fair and honest in all your dealings with them. This is the time to be clear about another aspect of your new role. Now that you're responsible for the team's performance, you have lots of additional responsibilities and many meetings to attend, so you probably won't be as available as you once were for lunches or after-work activities. You certainly don't want to cut off all informal contact with your team. Just back off a bit from the socialization. There may be people who can't handle the new relationship, and you will have to make hard decisions, but that's what managers do. Just keep in mind that your responsibility is to the team and to the success of the organization. If you need help, ask your HR support. And if you have a mentor, this is the perfect time to ask for guidance as you manage your new responsibilities and your team. Question. I'm settling into my new role managing my department, and I'm developing a good rapport with my team. However, I'm not sure that's enough. What else should I be doing? Answer. A big challenge for a new manager, whether you're new to the role or new to the organization, is fitting in and learning how things get done. Beyond understanding the organization, which is important, you have to develop political savvy. You need to begin by learning the organization, its structure and complexity. Some organizations have a traditional hierarchical structure. Some are flatter or have a matrix structure with people often working on cross-functional teams. The structure is going to affect how information flows, and understanding this is critical, so learn it early. Equally important, determine who the gatekeepers of the information are, those individuals who control the flow of information. Also, pay attention to how ideas flow in your organization. Do they flow freely? Do team members have the freedom to either act on good ideas or at least bring them forward? Practice management by walking around, inside and outside of your department. Be observant and ask questions. Pay attention to the people and the action around you. How is the work being done? What are people saying about your department? Whether the feedback you're getting is positive or negative, don't settle on hearsay. Go to the source to get the best information that you can and invite comments and criticism. You will not be able to make any positive changes unless you understand the changes that need to be made. Curiosity is one of the most important tools you should be using in your management journey. Curious people are always learning because they're always asking questions, reading up on topics outside their field of expertise, and generally exploring. Being curious and asking questions is a good way to engage other people. Be curious about what's going on in your organization. Start with finding out what other departments or teams are doing. Not only do you learn about the work, you can learn more about other managers. Be genuine and let them know that you want to hear more about their work and their teams, and listen carefully to what they say. If you're curious, you're also likely to ask about the challenges your external and internal customers face. It will help you gain a deeper understanding of what's going on in the organization and what others are facing. It's also a great way to build new relationships. Question. Now that I'm a manager, someone advised me that I have to be mindful of perception, what other people think of me and what I do. I've always considered myself a straightforward individual. Do I have to change who I am? Answer. You've gotten some good advice about being mindful of what others think, but no, it doesn't mean you have to change who you are. Just be aware how you present yourself. People will be watching you, your team, your peers, and your leadership. And all those people will have new expectations of you because of your new role. They are forming opinions based on their interpretations of what they see you doing and saying. So what exactly should you be mindful of as you settle into your new role? Here are some things to consider. Your dress and physical appearance. Workplaces today have indeed become more casual, so depending on the industry and the nature of your workplace, you want to dress suitably for your normal workday environment. If your workplace is casual, however, avoid anything outlandish that draws negative attention to you. Any stylist and image consultant will advise you to dress for where your day will take you. If you have meetings outside the office, you may need to forego casual and dress in more traditional business attire. Beyond clothing, don't forget to check the mirror periodically to ensure you're well-groomed. You don't want to appear disheveled. Your workspace. We all have different ways of organizing our work and projects so we can work efficiently. Some people have items in file folders, others in piles. Keep in mind, however, that as people enter your workplace, they will form an impression of you. Will they see a busy manager or chaos? Though some people may like to work at a relatively clear desk, no one expects your workplace to be pristine all the time. Be mindful of keeping things haphazardly cast around your office, boxes or piles of things sitting around the floor, for example. Such a habit will not cast you in the best light. Your language. It goes without saying that you should use professional language in the workplace. Avoid slang and jargon. You may be used to a looser, less formal style of communications, which may be fine in your former environment or role. However, that's not where you are now. Not everyone will get that style of speaking and communicating, or understand that you may be joking if you respond to others with barbs and sarcasm. Your manners. Beyond table manners, and you should use good ones at business meals, don't forget common sense. When you're introduced to someone, stand if you're sitting. Shake hands or otherwise acknowledge them and learn their name. Repeat their name. "It's nice to meet you, Mary Smith," during the introduction. Be attentive to others. Don't interrupt or finish a person's sentence. Say please, thank you, and excuse me. Be gracious and accept compliments. Be punctual for meetings, but if you're delayed, do your best to get a message to the host. When you arrive, be inconspicuous when you join so you aren't disruptive. Warren Buffett said, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it." If you think about that, you'll do things differently. Question. I am adjusting to my new managerial responsibilities, but am struggling with feeling cut off from the people I used to brainstorm with. Where can I go for help? Maybe even some guidance as I work to maximize my effectiveness as a manager. Answer. Lots of new managers experience these issues because so many people think that they should be able to do it all. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's not easy to manage people, so don't hesitate to look for guidance when you need it. So many managers try to do everything themselves because they think they need to know everything and don't want anyone to suspect they don't know it all. This is a huge mistake, and it is how many managers derail careers. You're ahead of the game to have recognized that you can't do it all yourself. Consider asking if your organization would provide you with a coach who could help you as you navigate your new role. However, if that's not possible, look for mentors either inside or outside your organizations. A mentor can be extremely helpful as you seek to lead your team successfully. Be sure to select mentors who are knowledgeable and trustworthy. You may also want to consider starting meetup sessions with other managers in your organization. Even the experienced ones will want or need help from time to time. Set a time to meet and come up with some ground rules, including nothing that's said leaves the room to ensure you can be open and honest with each other. I'll bet that each manager has knowledge, a skill, or expertise that others would like to hear about and use when needed. Take advantage of those free resources. Don't overlook your peers outside your organization. They can be real assets to you. There are often informal networking groups in which members share issues and brainstorm ideas. These can be extremely helpful, as members are likely going through similar issues and experiencing the same challenges. Of course, Having rules like confidentiality is the key to success. As you seek to improve your managerial abilities, take advantage of the vast number of webinars, podcasts, books, and articles available that tackle management issues. There are countless resources to help you gain confidence in your abilities. Check out TED Talks and YouTube videos for great ideas you can use and share with others. I highly recommend that you become a lifelong learner. Managing is a challenge, and no one has a lock on how to do it all. Every manager struggles from time to time. Constantly ask questions, read, study, and try new ideas so that you build your strength as a manager. Your people, your peers, and your senior management team will appreciate it, and you will be a better manager. Question. I received a piece of advice that I don't understand. A colleague suggested that, because I'm a new manager, I should assemble a personal board of advisors. Any idea what she meant? Answer. Your colleague gave you some good advice, but she could have elaborated on this subject. All managers should surround themselves with trusted advisors from whom they can solicit honest advice and feedback. Often this starts with members of your team. As a new manager, you can be disadvantaged because you didn't hire your team members. Nevertheless, as you get to know them, you will understand their strengths and learn who the experts in their fields are. As you grow your own team and hire people who report to you, remember you want strong, competent subordinates rather than enablers, people who will scramble to make you look good despite any misgivings they may have. As you seek out advisors, and they should include colleagues and peers in the organization, in addition to your immediate team, look for people who will not shy away from telling you the truth rather than what they think you want to hear. This can be a particular pitfall among individuals who report to you, so choose carefully and let your expectations be known. When they think you are wrong, even if you don't ask, you don't want to hear after the fact, after you've taken an action, that others saw a potential problem. You want to hear early when people think you are making or about to make a mistake. Where your blind spots are. We are all influenced by past experiences and often don't want to admit our weaknesses to ourselves. All the more reason to have people who aren't afraid to point these out to us in a respectful manner. In choosing advisors, you want people who are not afraid to challenge your ideas, argue and debate about them with you, and even slow you down in order to make you rethink some things. Solicit ideas from individuals with diverse points of views. Bring them together and let them debate. Pay attention to what they are saying and recognize when they know more about a certain topic than you do. It's particularly important to seek input from those people on a regular basis. As you build your team of trusted advisors, solicit feedback. Ask what they see as your strengths and opportunities to develop as a manager and what they think you can do better. Query your staff about how they feel about working with you. Ask your colleagues if they've heard any comments from your staff. Embrace the feedback and don't be defensive if you don't agree. Resist the temptation to just be with people with whom you're familiar, such as former colleagues from other organizations. Instead, surround yourself with people who will push you out of your comfort zone. This will help you learn and grow within the organization and within your particular field. Cultivate your external network as well. Build a strong external network that includes colleagues working in other organizations, consultants, and service providers. This will keep you up to date on the latest practices in your profession and industry and build your credibility. Question. I'm a new manager and have been told I have to prepare a budget for my department. This is new to me, and I don't know where to start. Should I just take last year's budget and increase everything by a certain %? Answer. Preparing a budget can be daunting, even for experienced managers, so it's good to get some guidance. There are several budgeting methods that organizations may use, and they may vary by industry. So you should check with your finance department before proceeding. Two commonly used methods are incremental budgeting and zero-based budgeting. If incremental budgeting is used, the budget from the prior year or the department's actual performance forms the basis, and incremental amounts are...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?